Hello, happy World Happiness Day on Facebook land. Or if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, happy day after World Happiness Day on YouTube land. Now, in the My 365 group, which is the best coaching and it's the best life coaching program there is, really. And it's free, and there is a free version available on Facebook if you're watching this on YouTube and have not heard of MI 365. I was asked to talk about depression, and so I'm going to talk about depression here now as well. Now, I'm not a psychologist. I don't treat depression. I do, however, know a lot about how the brain works. Hello, Clive. So, according to what's the name of the report? The Global Burden of Disease report. By 2020, it's expected that depression will be second only to heart disease as a major form of disability. Although we know that, this is actually now out of date because dementia has actually already overtaken heart disease in the UK anyway. So dementia, why is all this brain stuff getting worse? And it's not just dementia at the end of life because we're living longer. That's just a load of complete poppycock. It's nothing to do with the fact that we're living longer. It's the fact that we're living sicker. But why is depression going up everywhere? What is it? Are we suddenly all a lot more stressed? Are we all suddenly experiencing death in the families that we never did before? Hello, Amanda. Hello, Amanda again. Hello, Sally. If you're watching on YouTube, it's because this is a live Facebook broadcast replay. Hello, Laura. So where's all this depression coming from? Well, it's coming from a lot of different things, but it's a major disconnect from how we evolved, and we're now all in basically captivity. We are not getting out and doing everything that the way we should be, in the way that our brain has evolved to exist in a happy state. So, depression. A lot of time depression happens just after some naturally disastrous event, you lose a loved one, something like that. But you know what? That happens in life. I'm really sorry. And when it happens to me, yeah, I get stressed, I get worried. But you know what my coping mechanism is? My coping mechanism for the loss of someone close to me is to go and burn off all the stress hormones and create lots of happiness by exercising. And we're going to get back to that in a moment. Okay? But depression, if it's coming from perhaps mental habits because you grew up in an abusive atmosphere, or you grew up because someone else around you was depressed, you have two choices. And again, twin studies and family studies, brother and sister, sibling studies show this out. You can have two people growing up in the same environment, like in a very depressive, drug-abusing, alcoholic home. And one will grow up an alcoholic and say, well, of course I was going to grow up an alcoholic. Haven't you seen where I came from? And the other one can grow up happy and fit. And you say, well, of course I'm going to grow up, fit and wanting to do all these good lifestyle things. Didn't you see where I came from? I didn't want to be like that. But some people, they do pick up all these habits, and it's the habits that go around in the brain that habitually make you think the same rubbish thoughts every day. Junk thought, as I covered when I did the whole mindset series. And you can unlearn all these habits and replace them with good habits. And yeah, maybe it will take 2 or 3 months. But if you've had depression for a long time, and I'm talking about more than 3 months, and you've tried, lots of psychotherapy, CBT, EFT, you've looked at all these different things, and you are still depressed, then it's not a habitual mind thinking problem. If you've really, truly, honestly practiced these things, then it's not because of the habits in your brain. So what else could it be? So after 3 months, you've tried that, there's no change. Well, very often, it's because people just aren't moving enough. Exercise switches off stress, but it also produces other hormones in your body. It produces neurotransmitters that make you feel good. Getting outside in the sunshine, walking through greenery for about 20 to 40 minutes, 3, 4, 5 times a week is just as good as Prozac. See, depression isn't a lack of Prozac. It's not actually necessarily a lack of serotonin or GABA or any of the other feel-good chemicals. It's a lack of the proper neurotransmitters, the lack of the proper chemistry in your body. And you have a lack of proper chemistry because you're not doing what you're meant to be doing, which is getting outside in fresh air and having lots of sunshine. Another major reason that there's more depression and there's more problems is actually because of these things. LED light bulbs. We all changed to these because they're better for the environment, and we all thought, yeah, blue light, yeah, that's what we want, we get blue light from the sun. But it turns out it's all about balance, and too much blue light is really bad for melatonin production, which is one of your natural recharging, rejuvenating hormones that, yes, it does help you fall asleep. It's got lots of other uses as well. It buffers stress hormones, the major stress hormone, cortisol. So if you're getting too much blue light, you don't make enough melatonin, you don't buffer stress. The old incandescent light bulbs are actually far better, and getting outside in the sun isn't just about getting sun and creating a tan or vitamin D3. It's about all the other colours of light as well, like the oranges as well. So this is why blue blocker sunglasses, blue blocker, not sunglasses, blue blocker glasses that you wear in the home that basically are orange, and they filter out the blue light, and they help rebalance some of this light if you're not getting outside in the sunshine. Or it doesn't even have to be sunshine, just get outside and get natural light. It will really help you exercising and moving. So hello Abigail, hello Donna. So okay, so you've got your mental, you've done all the mindset stuff for 3 months, and you've been exercising and getting out in proper sunshine lots, and you're still depressed. What else is going on there? Well, inflammation, and you have an inflamed brain. How do you know this? Well, basically, when you injure a joint or a muscle, have repetitive strain injury, something like that, there's inflammation. Your body has pain receptors, and it signals pain, in the brain goes, oh, there's pain, there's a problem. But when your brain is inflamed, your brain doesn't actually have a pain receptor in it. It signals that your brain is inflamed by exhibiting any one of a whole load of psychiatric symptoms, whether it's depression, bipolar, mania, schizophrenia. It's brain inflammation of one form or another. It's not just a lack of any one particular thing. There's a whole load of things that are needed to keep your brain uninflamed. Now, one of the first things that causes lots of inflammation in your body is sugar. Sugar actually constricts your arteries, and it causes inflammation at high levels. Now, small amounts of sugar are needed, otherwise we wouldn't actually make it in our bodies from proteins and fats. Well, we wouldn't actually have it as a fuel. We need small amounts of it, but we can make it. We don't have to load and gorge ourselves on it all the time. Another major problem is gluten from grains, and it's not just gluten. It's gluten, especially when it's mixed with a pesticide called glyphosate, and there are lots and lots of others that probably make it worse as well. Glyphosate makes gluten 100 times worse. And it doesn't just cause gut problems, it actually causes brain problems. Again, constricts arteries. It can cause a leaky brain, just like you might have heard of leaky gut and irritable bowel syndrome. You can have irritable brain syndrome, but it just gets labelled as lots of different things. That's what I think a lot of brain problems are. They're irritable brain syndrome. And it's because you've got a leaky brain through glyphosate and all kinds of other things going on. So you need to remove, if you've got chronic depression, remove grains from your diet. Removing grains, it removes gluten, it removes lots of glyphosate. Even if it's organic, it can still have pesticides on there just leached from the other fields. So remove grains for a month. Remove dairy as well. Dairy in America is allowed to have up to, I think, 40, may even be more, antibiotic residues in it and hormone residues. And the thing is, milk over here is probably no different. It's full of antibiotics. Antibiotics screw up your liver. They cause problems with your mitochondria, and the mitochondria in your body, that creates a lot of tiredness. Mitochondria in your brain fog, fatigue, all kinds of things. And again, antibiotics in the liver. If the liver is screwed, then you're going to get more inflammation in the brain and the rest of the body. Antibiotics, which are rife in dairy products, not good. And you're also finding them in wheat as well. So that's another reason to avoid grains. So antibiotics, bad. You need to get the right bacteria in your gut, because again, a lot of gut bacteria, you've heard of probiotics. There's also now what's called psychobiotics. Basically the bacteria in your gut that make your brain feel good, because your gut makes all the same chemicals that your brain does. Your gut actually makes something like 4 or 40 or maybe even 400 times more melatonin than your brain. But the melatonin from here doesn't get into your brain. So inflammation, so sugar, grains, dairy. Okay, if you're depressed, cut those out if you've never tried it. Next, well, it's getting all the other nutrients in there that make your brain a happy place. Now let's just go through a short list of some of the supplements you're going to need to take. Okay, D-L-phenylalanine, L-phenylalanine, tyrosine, glutamine, tryptophan, 5-hydroxytryptophan is available in lots of different forms, glycine, L-methionine, L-leucine. These are all amino acids, proteins that you need. Essential fatty acids like docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, which you only find in animal fats. And then there's dihomogammalinoleic acid, there's arachidonic acid, magnesium, calcium, zinc, and then B vitamins such as B3, B5, B6, vitamin E. The list goes on. There's no one particular thing. If you're just taking, magnesium and your depression's not getting better, or you're taking 5-HTP and your depression's not getting better, that's just one thing. There are hundreds of things that could be going on. Another thing is your immune system. So the study of what's called psychoneuroimmunology. Psychoneuroimmunology is the effect that your brain has on your immune system. But it also goes the other way. If your immune system is screwed up for whatever reason and it's attacking yourself, which is usually secondary to toxins in your body, changing how your body perceives itself, or nutritional deficiencies, nutrients, there's a whole range of things it could be, then your body attacks itself, including the brain. So you also need to get rid of the toxins that are causing inflammation and causing mitochondrial dysfunction in your body. So if you're depressed, and wondering why after all these years of taking medication, the fact that the thing that caused you to be depressed was 30 years ago, you've taken different vitamins and minerals, you're exercising regularly, and you're getting out in sunshine, and you still feel depressed, you need to detox as well. There's a whole range of things that cause depression, and until you but the thing is, when you start applying what I call, and what my mentor Dr. Bob Rakowski and my friend Pete and everyone in my 365 called the Magnificent 7, you're going to get rid of your depression. You're going to get rid of most of the health problems that are actually plaguing you, whether it's a hormone problem, whether it's depression, whether it's back pain. Doesn't matter what it is. If you eat right, you drink right, you think right, you supplement right, you breathe right, you detoxify, you get all these things working in your body that we're meant to naturally, but we don't because we're now living in a very unnatural world. If you get them all right, you will be all right. And if you apply the Magnificent 7 properly and fully, they're going to help save the NHS. And then the NHS will be there for when it's really needed, like accidents, emergencies, pulling arrows or cars out of your head, or the things that really, really, really are not going to be cured by a vitamin pill, So do yourself a favour, do the country a favour, do your community a favour, do your family a favour. Learn about the Magnificent 7 and apply the whole lot. Join my 365 as well, because this is part of the process. Okay, live long and prosper. I love you all because you're all my friends on Facebook. You're not just some random bunch of people. And I will see you throughout the week. Be well.